Good morning. I'm Professor Andrew Deeks, President of University College Dublin. On behalf of my fellow faculty and staff, I wish to extend a warm welcome to this virtual conferring celebration, especially to our students, your families and friends, and to your supporters far and wide. I'm delighted to be joined by the Principal of the UCD College of Science, Professor Joe Carthy, and by Associate Professor Fred Cummins, UCD School of Computer Science. I now call upon Associate Professor Fred Cummins to commence the proceedings.
Thank you, President. On behalf of my colleagues at the School of Computer Science in the UCD College of Science, I would like to reiterate the President's warm welcome to you all. Traditionally, our conferring ceremonies offer an opportunity for you, our students, to come together and celebrate with friends and family before heading your separate ways. However, we find ourselves in unprecedented times, and sadly, we did not have the chance to hold in-person ceremonies last December. My fellow faculty and I were so disappointed not to have the opportunity to celebrate with you. We find ourselves in a changed world, one that is learning to live with the COVID-19 pandemic. And I know that you will play your part as the world adapts to that change, and indeed adapts to the inevitable new normal. On behalf of my colleagues in the college who have taught and guided you throughout your studies, I want to congratulate each and every one of you. Before we begin, I will explain the procedure which we will follow. Your degrees have been conferred in absentia, and we will use a ceremonial form of Latin for this celebration. The Principal of the College of Science, Professor Joe Carthy, will present each degree in Latin, and the President, Professor Andrew Deeks, will respond in Latin. I will then call the names of the graduates for each degree. Honours degree of Bachelor of Actuarial and Financial Studies.
Pre honorabilis praeses, totaque contio, presenter vobis hasce meas filias, et hos meos filios, iam toti academiae tam moribus, quam doctrina habilis et idonius esse agnitos, ad gradum baccalaureatus in studius actuarialibus et pecuniarius, honoro curso confecto admissos.
Ego auctoritate mihi concessa, presento vobis gradum baccalaureatus in studies actuarialibus et pecuniarius honoro curso confecto.
Thank you both. Dylan Connor Patton. Degree of Master of Science.
Pre honorabilis praeses, totaque contio, presenter vobis hasce meas filias et hos meos filios, iam toti academiae tam moribus, quam doctrina habilis et idonius esse agnitos, ad gradum magisterii scientiae admittos.
Ego auctoritate mihi concessa, presento vobis gradum magisterii scientia.
Thank you both. Computer Science. Nilesh Dilip Aher. Yasmin Al-Jadawi. Najla Al-Shaya. Juhi Anand. Aditi Bansal. Ankita Basu Roy. Vaibhav Bail. Vinay Bardwaj. Cathal Brady. Yanfei Tsao. Prashant Chaubey. Priyan Sanjay Chawla. Wan Chen, Xinye Chen, Vinod Ratan Chowdhury, Rohit Jyotiba Chogali, E. Swan Chung, Eamon Corneli, Kushabu Virendra Dave, China de Los Angeles, Rasika Hemant Deodar, Apurva Arun Deore, Ranjit Dhanaraj, Anurag Dinesh Jain, Shianda Dong, Chimeng Gan, Nikita Ravindra Gavand, Sanket Arun Gawas, Shaurya Gojia, Subham Satyendra Gupta, Michal Gwitsch, Xijie Huang, Namdi Ibianusi, Sagar Jape, Jashwant Jagadizan Vijayalakshmi, Akhilesh Jayaraman, Advait Samit Joshi, Shweta Suhas Joshi, Konstantina Kanta, Tejas Karimane Indushekar, Akansha Kare, Ankit Kumar, Sumit Kumar, Vishnu Maya Kutachari Satyanarayanan, Yili Lai, Adam Lewandowski, Bingbing Li, Weijing Li, Xiao Li, Yunnan Li, Hao Sen Liang, Jin Yao, Long Lin, Alan Ling, Ashwin Manikandan, Saurabh Mantapurwar, Nisagarata Gajanan Mate, Connor McFeely, Di Meng, Akshay Jayesh Modi, Yash Suresh Nabar, Borong Ning, Vishal Narendra Padma, Shruti Shivanandam Palamadi, Siddharth Papreja, Anushka Anilkumar Parma, Ankush Patil, Sai Patil, Niharika Perry, Parul Pole, Ruth Pritika, Han Yuan Tu, Adia Rawat, Yanlin Ren, Dhruv Hitesh Reshamwala, Ganesh Bhagwat Sangale, Neha Saraf, Kushbu Satpute, Chirag Kalpesh Shah, Farooq Anwar Shaikh, Minaz Iltab Shaikh, Mingjie Shao, Annika Farzana Sharmi, Oleg Shianov, Saili Srivastav, Ashdeep Singh, Gursimar Preet Singh, Nripendra Pratap Singh, Ivan Slatkov, Rusha Pushkar Sohoni, Daniel Stein, Jonas Stein, Mohammed Suhail, Susmita Tadavarti, Vikram Jeet Talwar, Ning Tao, Akshay Gajanan Thakare, Disha Thakur, Nitin Kumar Timegowda, Sean Thomas, Yu Ping Tian, Kunal Jagdeep Tolani, Karishma Tyagi, Amar Wag, Jason John Walsh, Chen Wang, Fei Hong Wang, Wanlong Wang, Yikai Wang, Yaowen Wu, Yi Wu, Nan Xiao, Yueting Xu, Chengming Yu, Zhao Yuan, Xijian Chong, Xuesong Zhang, Han Yuxi Zhao, Wenjie Zhao, Tiangang Zhu, Sajad Zulpekari. Digital Investigation and Forensic Computing. Kanagaraj Gunasekaran, Dave Harborn, Peter Kelly, Ivan Mauricio Montilla Figueroa, Ray Moody, Gita Parakatil, William Raftery, Colum Usher. Forensic Computing and Cybercrime. Richard Mark Cuevas, Jason Abbott, Michael Axel, Harry Ammon, Paul Anderson, Lief Erik Andreasen, Geir Andresen, Bradley Barkhurst, Alex Barron, Zuzana Bohakova, Stefano Bonato, Randy Baumann, Dean Boyer, Richard Burke, Laura Campbell, Caroline Carty, Rick Sense, Simon Chong, Tiberiu Chokerlan, Cyril Claffey, Daniel Creedon, Martin de Jong, Ronald de Jong, Bart de Vos, Nico de Vries, Julia Diefenbacher, David Dunn, Enda Farrell, Daniel Felix, Neil Michael Fogarty, Maike Friedrichs, John Gallagher, David Hanna, Chris Harrington, Ryan Heathouse, Heather Holden, Wilsonia Jean-Philippe, Nick Keating, Niall Kinsella, Gijs Lakeman, Christopher Landy, Timothy Larlam, Alan Leahy, Paul Lindsay, Timothy Losato, Margarita Luca, Jeffrey Mackenzie, Philip Maurer, Candace Maynard, Niall MacDonald, Stephen MacDonald, David McQuaid, Daniel Meyer, Matthew Miller, Michael Moore, Jos Moot, Giles Murphy, John Murphy, Panagiotis Nakutis, Kenneth Nash, Owen O'Keefe, Gareth O'Neill, Cormac O'Reilly, Daniel O'Sullivan, Valentin Pascu, Claudio Peguero, Aristomenes Peristras, Sean Peters, Nigel Petrie, Jean-François Pilonel, Tracy Robinson, Bradley Rudel, Vladimir Rogers, Paul Romine, Bart Rompelmann, Rodolphe Roch-Couchot, Roisin Rowley Brooke, Anthony Ryan, Richard Sadamak, Nabil Sardouk, Guido Schipper, Cesar Serhal, James Smith, Adria Soleil Bosch, Michael Stark, Dan Stravers, Gary Sutton, Stephen Tierney, Johannes Willem Tinholt, Henry van der Steeg, Maaike van den Berg, Tijl van der Steeg, Hendrik Eltje van der Velde, Thomas Willem van Gessel, Martin van Menen, Joran Vidicek, Dennis Westhuis, Dennis Weinberg, Rick Wiltenburg, Jamie Winkelmann, That concludes the conferring of degrees. I am now delighted to welcome Chartered Engineer and Lecturer in Financial Investigation Techniques, Paul Darcy, to address you.
Hello. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a visiting lecturer on the MSc in Forensic Computing and Cybercrime Investigation. In fact, 70 of my students are graduating here today, and we also have a contingent of Masters in Computer Science people. And over the next few minutes, I'm just going to talk to you about something that's fairly current, the problem with ransomware and what we can all do to combat it. So, as you're all aware, criminals have been using sophisticated software toolkits to attack infrastructure around the world. Probably most of us, the first one we'll become aware of will be the Colonial Pipeline attack in the United States that resulted in the shutdown of fuel supplies to the eastern seaboard for about a week. Another very serious one happened last week in that a company called JBS Foods, one of the largest manufacturers of beef and pork in the Americas, was also attacked with ransomware, and as a result, several of its factories have shut down. And everybody will be aware of what happened with our own HSE and the troubles that were caused by ransomware there. So the things that are going on with it is pretty much, I'd say everybody is aware that these things are run as businesses, that They generally they will infect and lock files and then look for a ransom for that, and then come back again and threaten to release data because they have the capability to extract data as well. And then if the ransom is not paid at that stage, they have a third option to monetize their crimes by selling that data. So that data is of great value for example, the criminal call centers that run all the scams. So they have three ways to monetize it. That's what's been happening. That's what we've been seeing with all these cases. So the question is often asked is, are these entities, there's 10 groups or so that operate various flavors of these attack tools, are they state-sponsored? I'd say more like state-tolerated. And the reason I say that is really interesting in the code of the way these tools work. Each of the 8 or 10 different varieties of these tools that have been used to attack our business and infrastructure, they have excludes in them. And what excludes mean is there are rules for systems that they're not allowed to attack. And those rules tell us a lot. The first rule is that they will not install on Russian language operated machines. So machines that have the Russian language pack on them. The second set of rules is a list of countries, mostly ex-Soviet bloc republics. It won't install on those machines either. So they're effectively immune. So what this tells us is that this is the thing that the criminals are afraid of. And what we think is going on here is that it tends to be that the law enforcement organizations and state agencies in those republics will not tolerate attacks on their own. They won't investigate attacks that are targeted abroad, so at us, but they won't tolerate attacks within their own sphere of influence. And the criminals are actually telling us that they're afraid of that. They'll be tolerated and allowed to do whatever they want to do, but they can't do it in their own backyard, so to speak. So this tells us a couple of different things and a way that we can maybe improve the situation. So crime is generally a difference between cost and risk. Their risk is they have to include those excludes to protect machines in their own countries and while they're attacking ours. But it's also about cost. So our computer science graduates today, the one thing I'd say to you is to continue to develop secure and systems that are resilient and resistant to this type of thing, and attack their cost that it takes them to attack us. And on the other hand, to be aware of difference or improvements and what's going on in the criminal environment from blogs like Krebs on security and things like that, and just be aware of where the criminals are at and where the next evolution of crimeware is coming from. And for our law enforcement graduates on the FCCI, I'd ask you to be thinking about, well, how can we improve their risk? How can we heighten their risk? How can we make them less secure in what they're doing? And that's really what I wanted to say to you today. So having said that, that's my 4 minutes. I'm absolutely delighted to be here and talking to you. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. Have a great day.
My warmest thanks to Paul for those inspirational words. Now I will ask Professor Andrew Deeks, UCD President, to address you. Congratulations once again and enjoy the rest of this very special day.
Distinguished guests, colleagues, and most of all graduates, you're very welcome to this virtual celebration ceremony. Given the restrictions in place last December, it was not possible to hold in-person ceremonies, and I'm delighted that you are joining us today for this virtual celebration of your conferring. As President of UCD, I take great pride and pleasure in extending my personal congratulations to each one of you. This has been another year of extraordinary challenge as the entire world continues to deal with the impact of COVID-19. I am, however, greatly heartened by how we as a community here at UCD have responded to the crisis with creativity and innovation and with courage and compassion. It is in these most testing of circumstances that we truly show what we are made of, individually and collectively. In facing the demands placed on us, we are discovering new depths to our resourcefulness and resilience. As Ireland's global university, UCD has played and continues to play a vital role in shaping our response to the pandemic nationally and globally, both culturally and scientifically. I'm proud to see how our brightest minds are rising to the challenge across all academic disciplines, from medicine and science and engineering to the arts and humanities. All around me, members of our UCD community have stepped up with courage and vision to meet the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, and their actions continue to underscore the vital importance of education, research and evidence-based decision-making in transforming our society. Graduation is a special occasion, marking the culmination of years of study and hard work by you, our graduates, and the teaching and guidance of our faculty and staff. As graduates, you have taken your place in a changed world, one in which your skills are in keen demand, your energy and passion is needed, and one that warmly welcomes your skills and expertise. While you were at UCD, our mission was to give each of you a holistic education, to inculcate in you a lifelong desire to learn and to create, and to instill in you a sense of purpose, a capacity for critical thinking, a desire to make a difference in society, and above all, an awareness of the global community in which you can make an impact. And I hope that you embrace these attributes and take them forward throughout your life journey. Here at UCD, we have almost 8,000 international students joining us from over 145 countries, adding enormously to the diversity and quality of campus life and to the UCD educational experience. We bring the best of the world to Ireland and the best of Ireland to the world. And so it's a particular pleasure for me to extend an Irish welcome to the families and friends of our international students who are joining us online today. Céad Míle Fáilte, Roíomh Go Léir, 100,000 welcomes to you all. During your time at UCD, I truly hope that we have given you a sense of belonging to a community that includes your fellow students, your flatmates and friends, lecturers and mentors. There's no doubt that the vast majority of you, whether you work here in Ireland or overseas, will operate in a global society. Indeed, in the increasingly global environment in which we live, that sense of local and of belonging to the UCD community is even more important. And so, wherever your career takes you, I would encourage you to stay in touch with your alma mater. As you prepare for the next stage of your life journey, remember that you are now a member of a very proud UCD alumni group of almost 300,000, based in some 170 countries, who will offer you a network of friendship and support wherever your journey takes you. While you were students, you were the centre of the UCD community, and now you remain a member of that community and carry the UCD badge with you. Wear it well, use it to open doors to advance your own ambitions, but also extend a helping hand to those who come after you. Seek to inspire and encourage them, and above all, follow our motto, Ad Astra, to the stars, by seeking to make your own mark and your own contribution to our society. The bonds of solidarity within the UCD community are tighter than ever as we support each other through these difficult times. I am very encouraged by the government's reopening plan for this summer, by the lower infection rates, the decrease in hospital admissions and the collapse in the mortality rate, and by the pace and efficiency of the national vaccination rollout. Here at UCD, we will continue to follow the government's advice and guidelines, looking forward to a smooth return to campus as soon as it is possible, while keeping everyone's health and safety at the forefront of our minds. I look forward to welcoming you all back on campus to celebrate your achievements as soon as it is safe to do so. But until then, I wish you well as you embark on your careers. Take care of yourselves and your families, and take heart in the hope that we will come together again at the end of this journey, stronger and more united than ever. Congratulations once again, and enjoy the rest of this very special day.